Man, what it do, world? It's your minds in them. Foul Sharpton, aka the Toothless Wonder, reporting on the Bamboozled Again News Network, where niggas get bamboozled every day, B. But you down with the Most High, you be alright. And I've kind of alluded this to previous videos, just with my various inklings or thoughts about where I believe society is trending, or just speculating, streams of consciousness, if you will. But in light of the interview I saw where Denzel admitting that he kissed a man and uh, they might have cut it out the saying or whatever the case may be. I'm under this belief, and again, I've alluded to this before. I truly believe that everybody we've ever seen on TV, whether they be a movie star, musical celebrity, sports figure, I think they all sweet, yo. Every last one of them. He was with him. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to hold, like I want to hold out hope that maybe, certain individuals who may have a certain disposition about, they ain't go, they ain't go down like that. But how did they get as far as they've gotten without having to do it? What make them special? Why they get a pass? Why they get you don't have to get butt broken, why they gotta get a, you not butt broken pass? You know what I'm saying? I think 50 Sweet. 50 Cent. I think he got one of them demos on. How he just get to operate with impunity? This reminds me of Ringo. You always shaming Ja Rule and them and whatever, and Diddy and whatnot, but you guilty of the same stuff. They allegedly, he had to punish Soldier Boy. You know what I'm saying? But granted, I guess if you catch somebody, even myself on here, I might look, in a still shot, you know what I mean? You might freeze frame. Oh, look at him. He looks to my, man, I don't trust none of these Negroes, bro. And here's what I'm thinking is happening, right? In this phase of the spiritual journey we're on, in this stage in human history, I think what has to happen as Babylon falls, the idols we've been taught to esteem are falling, right? Because I guess judgment come to us first. While simultaneously, the quote unquote chosen are waking up, are rising, and their light is about to start shining. Because in order for our light to shine, the false light has to be removed first. The images that have been portrayed to us of what men are or what men should aspire to be has to be removed, so that the obstacle has to be removed to actually see what true men are and are doing, and who they are and what they bout and what they stand for. You know what I'm saying? Because if the false light or the artificial light is in light or in front of the true light, it's blocking the real light. So I think it's a double-edged sword. Judgment, the collapse of Babylon, and and these folks ain't as necessary as they used to be. And at the same time, I think the like, if something, okay, if I'm looking at, I don't know, like right in front of me is a telephone pole. But if there are obstacles in the view of, or blocking my line of sight of the telephone pole, I can't see the telephone pole in totality. Once that's removed, then I say, oh, there's a telephone pole and it emits light. But the light, depending on where it's sitting in relation to my viewpoint, or the size of the object, will block the light that the light pole's giving off. Once I remove that, then the light shines more clearly and I can see better. We're seeing these people for what they is, regardless of personality, disposition. They all sell out and they all butt broken. That's just my humble opinion at this point. And then I was thinking, right, when I look at various other publications, things are superly duperly out of whack here. They say that amongst the world populace, and that's just not here in America, those that identify with the alternative side of things, LGBTQ or whatever, are only 3%. But they're grossly overrepresented in music. on TV. Even your sports, I've seen a bunch of sports do, basketball play, do some real suspect stuff. So amongst all these people, and I see how, like, sisters who constantly see this and then have been kind of maybe programmed or taught to not look at maybe brothers in the community a certain way. How in a sister mind, it'll make you wonder, is they all sweet, Because all of I see on TV sweet, and they just put up with it, deal with it, marry them, get their money out of them, fleece them, you know what I mean? Treat them like a duck, whatever, and go on about their business. You know what I'm saying? And by the same token, I think, from what I've seen, I think it is like this. But I refuse to believe it's all sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I see on TikTok, YouTube, community, job, wherever I go at, it make you think the land is burned because they all freaked out. Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. It's just the right parameters to put it in. Like I teach my daughter, like she about to be 14 next month. So, baby, I understand you gonna like boys. Yeah, and I'm not tripping off of that. It's just taking that natural desire and holding it within the right parameters. Because without parameters, you'll be just like everybody else you see. So I teach her the same thing. Like, you don't even have to think or believe the way I want you to believe. I want you to be able to see stuff and discern for yourself. And a couple times she's like, oh, now I see what you were talking about, Dad. I'm like, yeah, it's real in the battlefield. She's like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I think is happening. Again, as Babylon falls, and maybe certain industries aren't as necessary to push, just like we seen with Kamala, which was insane, and to me a slap in the face to black people as a whole, where you don't get the Democratic people who, let's say, started, I don't know, the Negro Coalition, or you might be in Cleveland and then you go grab the sister who started a chain of beauty salons who come from humble beginnings. You ain't get none of these people that this culture can identify with. You got twerkers and the most degenerate of black society. I was thinking about this too, For as bad as we've seen the crash outs in relation to Kamala losing, could you imagine had they had won? Boy, it'd have been on like Donkey Kong. Man, they'd have probably, for the amount of the crash out on the left, had they won, they might have been, in the street celebrating Bucky naked. You know what I mean? Y'all remember I went past, there's a 4-year university about 40 minutes from where I live at, and they got Planet Fitness right around the corner. And I forgot what time, this was this summer, I believe, but there was something about the abortion thing or whatever. And the college kids was like, honk if you're for abortion. They was celebrating and jumping up and down, clapping hands. And maybe some of them had went through that experience. But I'm like, you ain't got no kids yet, and you're fighting for the, like, ain't nothing here no more, These higher, like how we got, like even me, myself, these higher levels of indoctrination. Okay, you go to high school, you go to college, you get a piece of paper, and then you go, get a mortgage and da-da-da-da. All that's BS. You probably underwater, you probably paying more for your house than it's actually worth. You know what I'm saying? You got a piece of paper in liberal arts, but don't none of that apply to society unless you plugged in with some fraternity or organization. You know what I'm saying? Pledge your allegiance to them, then they'll install you in some place. You know what I mean? That's why I was wondering, why my life go a certain route? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted the college experience, even though I didn't know what I was going to go for. I'm going to go play basketball and I'll figure it out as I go. But these various, it always boggled my mind. I'm like, okay, I go to a HBCU and then pledge Greek. You know what I mean? And even if you look at, like, those, for what they call them, for fraternity members and all that, all them job flimsy like Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? We've all been ingratiated into Romanism, And I'm pretty sure other cultures did it, but the Romans, or that time period, infused that on everybody else on earth, especially anybody under their dominion, i.e. Negroes. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I was talking to my partner about this, Now I'm from a small town, right? So certain stuff is new and we get stuff late, and certain stuff I'm oblivious to because I don't care about it, right? Or certain stuff just not along my train of thought, right? So when I go to jail in Annapolis, I become privy to white guys from Baltimore City who will cross the county line into Anne Arundel County to boost. For those that don't know, it's like, stealing items and then, selling them to get drugs, right? So I'm privy to this type of white dude, right? Cool. They're cool dudes, you know what I'm saying? I got along with them more than I got along with Negroes. And they go hard in the paint. But this is early 2000, and this tripped me out. And I remember one dude in particular, they always talked about, and excuse my language, y'all, I'm just social observations. Every last one of them talked about eating butt, yo. Before this, eating the groceries wasn't even nowhere near mainstream or trending, and they was already doing that. I remember a white dude told me, "Hey, Kyle, man, you ever donkey punched a girl?" Huh? What's that? Just and quit donkey punch. Like, I'm not thinking of making sweet love, you know what I'm talking about? And punching on a woman. So he said, man, excuse my language, I'm gonna be as, PG-13 as possible, right? He said, that's, you're inside the woman, you're ready to ejaculate, and right before you do, you give her a kidney shot so she tense up. I guess, she get tighter, and then, it's a better feeling, whatever, right? My brain don't even think about no stuff like that, yo. I don't even think, and I can't speak for all Negro, ain't no Negro who, let's say, is not influenced by Babylon or not, freaked out on drugs or something like that. Ain't thinking about, he making love to a woman or whoever he doing it to, and yo, I'm gonna give her a nice gut shot. That's all Roman stuff, yo. I seen Kevin Gates spitting in people's mouth on stage and they honored, and we gotta get out of here, yo, man. And then on top of it, right, me and my other partner, we was chopping up through inbox words though, and I was talking to this about somebody else, and he had sent me a video of a brother speaking about like the family dynamic or how Europeanized our version of marriage and love is, right? Now, not just in our culture back in the day, in African culture, and all the ancient cultures from the Middle East, even Asian culture, where they had arranged marriages, family constructs. Like love wasn't, or marriage wasn't based on feeling, it was based on functionality. And I guess you learn to love each other because, the pushing of the family or the society or the tribe is that's the business of y'all getting along or making it work or whatever the case may be. European romantic love, like them love novels, that's a European concept, yo. A fantasy and being whisked away and, you know what I'm saying? All that woo, 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 woo. That's all a European construct. And that, as we see in America, it don't work because feelings fade. What about the business of the family? Which they've taught everyone here to not care about that, just do you. And then when everybody do them, they get destroyed. Even as we see in Hollywood. I sell myself out or give my cheeks away for a $20 million deal. Now at the end of the road, I'm nothing. Now where you gonna work at? Now you're a joke. You know what I'm saying? Now ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Or you walk around, oh, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this crazy, yo. This is crazy. Even the family structure, right? Because I grew up old fashioned, where me, my mother, my grandmother lived in the same home. And then we had like another home in the back, like a small home. My uncle stayed there. And then sometimes my other uncle would stay in the house. Immediately next door, I had another aunt and uncle on the right, and I had another aunt and uncle on the left. And then there was nobody else around. It was a white family across the road, but their house was way in the back. If they came out their front door and I squint, like I can make them out kinda. And then there was some other family way down the road. You know what I'm saying? But I basically grew up on it wasn't an estate, but for lack of a better term. So when I asked my mother about it, she explained to me that when my uncle married my mother's sister, she bought land from my grandmother and just built the house on the side of it. My uncle, which was my grandmother's son, I don't know if he bought it, but he just he just built the house next door to his mama and raised his family there. You see what I'm saying? So we all grew up together, yo. And then there was nobody else around. So if mom don't cook, I can go to either which house. You see what I'm saying? Somebody doing something, somebody pick up the slack. Somebody grabs more down to other people. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. Um, and I said that to say this. That was the family construct. I never went without food. Granted, it was in isolation, but if you grow up a certain way, you don't I grew up in a time where as though, what I'm saying, when the thunderstorm cracked off, you had to cut the TVs off, stop talking, lay down. It wasn't until I got older and went to more of a suburban area where the thunderstorm kicked off and everybody still was talking. And I was like, yo, y'all not gonna stop talking like God doing his work, yeah? They're like, nah. I thought everybody did that, yo. You know what I'm saying? And, the relation of in the family structure, where I spent most of my time with my grandmother and my aunt, because she worked in the school system. And the brother on the video was detailing how when you're younger in relation to older people, you keep them young because they got to tend to you all the time. You see what I'm saying? So you keeping old people on point. And then by the same token, you as a young person around older people, you getting that soul put in you. You know what I mean? If you raise a child in a way they'll never depart. Now I departed, but I darn sure then came back. Because what happens in your formative years does have a very foundational aspect about you, how you view the world, how you conduct yourself, Like I've never seen. That's why it was crazy when I started going to school in town and seeing people play manipulation games. I never seen that. I never seen. Now, if it was going on, they ain't let me see it. You see what I'm saying? I had to stay in a child's place. Now the children with social media, children are grown and so on and so forth. But our whole family setup is. But see, we want to solve all these problems without getting to the root cause of it. Black people, we make more money than we've ever made in the 60s. But we're less powerful. We're less powerful because our families aren't intact, and they've convinced us to not have them intact. Now, we can disagree, just like the Asian man or whoever, and the other family that we see running circles around it. I got to believe they have disagreements and, don't see things eye to eye. But they just work it out for the family construct and the totality of everyone involved. Negroes can't do that. Negroes can't disagree and still work together. You see what I'm saying? But we'll work to take the next man down and feel good about it. And then still be subject to the same individuals or the groups of people, the system that we complain about. You know what I'm saying? And then in the rare instance where we do try to come together, then here come the Judas principle. We get infiltrated, they sell us out. If you look at the New Breed situation, you know what I'm saying? That man attempting to do something that maybe ain't been done more along spiritual lines since maybe the 60s. And I can only imagine the hell that man catch behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Every time he turn around, somebody making a video about him. And the only thing he really did from what I've seen is try to help the people. It make you not want to help Negroes. But then here it is, if you take that stance, by default, you'll slowly you'll start becoming like them. Because if you can't be who you truly are, it make you bitter. And then when the root of bitterness take root, next thing you know, you wake up, you doing all the same stuff they doing, and can't figure out how you got down that road. You know what I'm saying? Because you done turned that down. Because, like I said in the last video, you so hell-bent on protecting yourself that you're not open. Yeah, you're gonna take some shots, but you're not open to receive as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like they say, the pain of losing $100 is actually more pronounced than the joy of winning $100. You know what I mean? But I was just thinking along just a bunch of different lines as far as what I'm saying in society, yo. Like, even in these helping industries, when they monetize the helping industries with billing of services and insurance money and all that, all the you just basically numbers now, checking off boxes to get money. You know what I'm saying? But the actual compassion, the actual empowerment from one individual, that energy is kind of been curtailed. Because now when money trumps the mission statement is just on the wall, but it's not in application. You know what I'm saying? And I always go back and reference the old job because that's probably the first time in probably a decade where on a consistent basis, I was around people of different genders, education levels, upbringings, and they all had a similar common operating program. This is wrong, but I won't say nothing because I need a job. You know what I'm saying? Or I'ma just stay in my lane and do what I can do. It's no different than the Diddy principle. You can do that, and trust and believe, I understand. Um, bills and, well, if I do say something, I might be, fired or, what I mean, whoop, or blackball, and don't nobody want to go through that. But I've done it all my life, but I'm even more prone to do it now because of the journey I walk. So I don't really care nothing about no job. I care about what's right. I care about purpose and fulfillment. Just like the daily principle, like I said. Now, you can turn a blind eye, but as they say, your silence is complicity. So you can know some stuff going on, have evidence, and be like, oh, I ain't saying nothing more. I don't, tuck my head or whatever. And then when it come down the pipe, you was with them. So then when they ask you, well, what you know? Oh, I don't know nothing. How you don't know nothing? And you've been around them people 20 some years. That's why I talk about on here, especially for brothers in the streets or whatever the case may be. You better start distancing yourself, because and we see a plethora of examples from Lil Durk and them. If you want to go, and you don't even gotta go that far. Just look in your neighborhood. Your mans and them probably done told on somebody. You know what I'm saying, for their own benefit. But nobody wants the consequence of what they do. They just want the benefit. You see what I'm saying? Just like these so-called players can go out here and sleep with 1,000 women. As soon as he found out somebody slept with his woman, he still can't keep it player. Now you want to fight. Where was that in the player handbook? You know what I'm saying? Or you want to align yourself with people who ain't necessarily principally where you at with it, but you stay connected to them for the benefit, social validation, whatever the case may be. But when it come out these people funny, you can't say you don't know them, and you just took 17 pictures with the man. And I get it. Going your own route, forging your own path is not for the faint of heart. But pick your poison. Either you do that, or you're going to take the drop with the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Because as we see, regardless of who went off, the economy and the currency is going to be the value, because that's part of the plan. So when that goes away, then what can they offer you? And what good are you to them? Them same people, you know what I'm saying? Just like, when the CEO stepped down or the company blow up, he steal all the money and shut his phone off, and then he go to Bahamas, and in a year he do the same stuff again. He be like, yo, that's my right-hand man. Man, ain't no love in this game, B. And it seemed like, I guess if we Negro, because it's, something we can identify with, maybe the streets or just something along lines with Negro culture. But we talking about the streets. That's probably the lowest level. When you really get into some real cutthroat action, get into business, get into politics. Man, the streets is a drop in the bucket compared to the wickedness, and it's almost like you James Bond, a double agent. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a certain mission that come from, let's say, on high, right? But then you around all these various peoples, and you can't necessarily discern who's who, not in the sense of who they are, but what their true allegiance is. Because depending on who's in power or the circumstances, their loyalty flip-flops. You see what I'm saying? So I can play it cool and know he's an enemy, but I can extrapolate certain information to run my mission, right? You know what I mean? But I'm aware that he is who he is. You see what I'm saying? But then at some point, because of circumstances, now I gotta distance myself because of the alignment or the social alignment. I know, you know what I'm saying? It just gets real convoluted. You know what I mean? And I like to keep things simple. I'm a simple man. That's why if simple stuff get overly complicated for no reason, I just cut it off, yo. Ain't nobody got time to be trying to figure all that out. I've already figured out it's stupid, and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm famous for that. To protect my energy, to protect my progress, protect the work I've put in. I guarantee you, for the most part, at this point in the game, unless they're like, to me, an older black man, and they got their own issues. We all got issues. But typically, older black men are setting their way. Everybody else subject to hit you with the curveball out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? If it benefit them for 5 minutes, you could have got these people out of jail, or you could have been there for them when they was financially destitute. It don't make no difference. This is a parasitical piranha type social environment on land that we find ourselves in. You know what I'm saying? I've seen homeboys X each other out for a promotion on the job for an extra dollar or two. You know what I'm saying? And they might have grew up from the sandbox, and that was on the job. I've seen homeboys, you know, do some old dirty Mac and crud ball stuff for a known harlot. It seemed like don't nobody want people unless they see you with them. You know what I'm saying? Which makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Why would I? Because you got it. I want somebody ain't nobody had. You know what I'm saying? You ever notice like when brothers cheat or sleep with somebody's woman, they don't say, oh, I slept with Amy. They'll say, oh, I slept with Don girl. Like, let's say, and I don't do this, but let's say hypothetically I was to do that. I'm not even sleeping with this woman because that's your woman. That's kind of, if you ask me, I'm sleeping with her because I want to sleep with her, not because she got some attachment to you. But again, in this like fakey take kind of society, and I've seen brothers do this on a numerous occasion where they might not like another dude for some other reason, and let's say he can't beat him up. He said, oh, I'm just going to smash his woman. You know what I'm saying? And that make him feel like, yeah, you know what I mean? This is not our culture. And that's basically what I'm trying to get to the end point of. This is not our culture. And I think we're starting to awaken to this because don't nothing, one, we see now ain't none of it real. Two, don't none of it work for us. So if this ain't our culture, where we come from, who are we really, and how are we really supposed to operate? Everything that is ours has been destroyed or hijacked. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go to the Christian church and they don't abide by nothing in the Bible that probably more oftentimes than not, they barely read. I was thinking about this too as well. Um, I believe that's in Psalm where it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. The black man walked through the valley of the shadow of death every day, B. Everything trying to unalive you. When you take when you order DoorDash, you know, on your work break from McDonald's, that's unaliving action. The bonquisha you messing with, who got the good, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I mean? She ain't, you'll come to find out later on, she'll unalive you. Not necessarily physically, and sometimes that do happen. She'll do it spiritually. She'll do it mentally. And feel great about it. And feel like that make her a hellified woman. You know, somebody who look just like you will unalive you. You know what I'm saying? You go to the hospital because you got high blood pressure. They give you some medication. That'll slowly unalive you. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you in the womb, they'll try to unalive you for you even coming to the earth realm. And make it legal. And fight for it to be legal. And feel proud about it. But I've never seen the Hispanic, the Asian, the Middle Eastern folk. I've never seen them at the abortion clinic. I've never seen them in child support court. None of that. We want this stuff we say we want, but we don't want to do and fix what needs to be fixed in order to do that. You know what I mean? I want to go on the court and just drop 20, but I don't want to practice. I don't want to run no sprints. I don't want to shoot no free throws when I'm tired. But I'm telling everybody I'm going to get in the game and drop 20. Then when I do get in the game, I get dunked on and crossed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm fouling everybody. And then I blame everything else but the fact I'm not prepared. I ain't put in the work. I ain't shoot the 400 jump shots in the middle of the night like Kobe. And then wonder why when I get in the game of life banging on me, horsing me in the paint, treat me any kind of way, styling on me, crossing me up, wait till I get up, and then shoot the J in my eyeballs and all that there, man. And then want to blame the coach and everybody else, but the fact you ain't putting in the work. You ain't watching no game tape. You know what I mean? Then wonder why you can't get on the squad. And then they say they hating on you. That's another thing. I'm just going on tangent here now, right? Everybody how about somebody hating on them. Just go for me personally. How I'm hating on you and I don't want to do nothing I seen you do. Now everybody want haters. That come by default. Now everybody looking for haters and ops. What sane man or woman want to just knowingly or purposely make enemies to validate yourself? This culture not ours, cuz. The selling of poison to your own people for financial benefit in the sense of hustling. And we esteem these brothers that come out, you know what I mean? But you essentially selling the white man poison to your own kind, you know what I mean? And then when they get good and ready, they lock you up for 1,000 years and then take all the money you built up and send these kids to college with it. Bamboozled again, you know. And then whatever money you stashed away, I seen a plethora brother talk about this. You can't put nothing in your name, so they just gonna take it, figuring they ain't gonna never see you again. And then your woman gonna mess with your home, bud. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all built on superficiality anyway. You know what I'm saying? So she go to the next dude with pockets. You know what I'm saying? That's why brothers don't stick to the code that they say they live by. Let's leave the street code. In 2025, we leaving this whole street code stuff in 2024, yeah. Because the people in the street don't even buy it. Now, I seen a video, a little Dirk dad, I think he just came home. And he was talking about how they try to get him to tell on Larry Hoover. He was like, man, that man will help me. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just going to lay down. Like, I'm not telling on my mind, yo. Why would I do that? I love him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no love out here, man. As the words say, people be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, and lovers of themselves. They're boasters and proud, truce breakers, what they say, unshameful, unholy, unforgiving. I'm saying that all over the place. It's crazy how people can do dirt, and then when somebody turn around and do the exact same dirt to them, they can't handle it. That's like me being a robber, and I put the pistol on folk. And then when I get shot, I can't believe it. Man, that man shot me, yo, that's what's wrong with the community. But it's all right when I do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to cheat. But then when you get cheated on, cry me a river, oh, you know what I'm saying? Or like Birdman, he got to be on deck. He out that mob too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pay. And I know brothers like this who will borrow money and not pay it back. I got my homeboy uncle like that. And I was looking at that man crazy because he owed me money. But then he act like he ready to fight because he said someone else owed him money. How you mad somebody owing you money and I know you don't pay nobody back? That remind me of the word where it say the dude go to court and he get a reprieve from the judge because of the money he owed. Then he get out of court and see somebody who owed him a little bit of money and run down on him. You mean tell me, with all the grace and mercy I got, I can't extend that to the next man? I told the Muslim dudes, like the institutional Muslims at the job, right? So the dude, now I could tell he had like he had smoked a lot of PCP, so his brain is rewiring itself, right? So he messed around and reached on somebody's plate, right? You know, jailhouse stuff. Oh, you disrespect something like. So I bring the institutionalized Muslim together, and they had a bunch of older ones that probably knew more in that religion than the younger ones, but behaviorally they were nothing, and they leading them astray. You know what I'm saying? So I got on them, right? So I say, cuz, I understand where you're coming from with him. But obviously, look at him. You can tell he not on there, right? So you say you worship Allah, correct? Don't Allah talk about mercy? So you see that man in a messed up mental state. And you mean tell me you ready to jump on him? You can't overlook that? When the same God you say you serve show grace and mercy and try and get you in here off of drugs, yeah? Like, explain it to me, cuz. Crickets. Yeah, leave the man alone, man. You gotta look past some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to beat him up. How that tough that make you? The man talking about dum day, and you want to beat him up and get some points. That let me know, man, you some Duke on the outside. You know what I'm saying? You the same dude get in here and play tough, and be the same dude as soon as they put you out here, be in the middle of the highway with a sign panhandle, chump man. You know what I mean? Man. I see him all over the place, cuz. It don't make me mad. I turn to a joke, but I'm just starting to identify, not just start, but to a greater level and degree. I can identify the program he's under, whether it be the street program, the hustle program, the gang program, the institutionalized program, the harlot program, the finance, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the money getting program. I can identify all these programs, and with all these programs come programming. So, like if you program a computer with a certain file, it's supposed to perform certain action. That's what I'm saying. And I believe that's why I just come to understand this intellectually, but it was already in my background apps. That's why I've been able to navigate, sidestep, do certain stuff automatically without a whole lot of critical thought, because that app is running in the background. Now it just came to the forefront of my mind that that's what's running in the background. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, man, that's all I got for y'all. I went a little bit long on this one. Cover your six, man. One love.